here we are. This has been a long time in the making, and it sounds like a hellacious couple days in the off season. But new deal, 250 West Coast with one of the newest teams. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's going great. Jimmy and all the guys over at Motorcycle Superstore put together a great program with Pat and everyone from Suzuki. You know, when I walked into the shop a month and a half ago, felt like we had a lot to do in a small amount of time, but man, I'm really impressed with Jim, Greg, Austin, Mikey, Jimmy, Mark from Motorcycle Superstore. Everybody's been putting in so much work, and you know, I feel like we've crammed in probably what we needed 3 months to do in a month and a half, but everybody's been working really hard, and the bike's awesome right now, and I'm looking forward to A1.
Probably a good thing too that you could stay in Texas. I mean, an hour and a half commute to go ride probably wouldn't have been great, but you figured out the bike right then and there. It wasn't text messages and phone calls to communicate back and forth. You could tell Jim exactly what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for me with the Suzuki. I rode the 450 outdoors this year, this past year, and like the bike. You know, I'm excited about continuing that relationship. You know, I was kind of familiar with the feel of the bike. You know, Jim's shop's up at Compound 77, so yeah, it's an hour and 20, hour and a half commute every day, and you know, been doing it 5 days a week, but you know, ride out of the race shop right onto the Supercross track, and you know, we've had some rain, so we've had to ride a little outdoors or the corner track here and there, but man, like I said, the amount of work that everybody's been putting in, and you know, being able to get back in a place where I have the testing and you know, riding as much as I can. You know, I feel really good. The bike's really good. You know, first time to ride a Suzuki 250. Loving the way it handles and everything that they've done with it.
Hey, was it a challenge to transition from the 450 after being a 450 guy for a while to drop back down? I mean, you're not the biggest dude, so it's a pretty easy transition, but it's got to be a big difference in power.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a toss-up. I came to California for a few weeks during the off-season and was riding a 450 outdoors. Was planning on possibly doing that for the Supercross and outdoor season this year, and things changed, and you know, very fortunate that there was something here for me. And you know, I talked to Jimmy on a Thursday, I think, and had a contract on Friday and was driving back home. But you know, I mean, 450 or 250, I like them both. You know, back in 2010, I hopped on the Valley bike there for a little bit and made the transition back in 11 to the 250 class and have one of my best years. So I think it's just more, you know, spending the time on the bike and, you know, getting back used to it. And, you know, when we first got the Suzukis, we just had the stock bikes in the crate, and I spent probably 3 or 4 days just riding the 250 outdoors. And you know, Jimmy had some 450s up there, and they're like, oh, you want to spend some laps on this? And just tried to stay off of it, tried to you know, get back familiar to the Lights bike, and you know, the package they put together, Jim Lewis has from Merge with suspension and motor. You know, we have a really good bike, and I'm excited about it.
The biggest thing, I mean, the last few years you've been on pretty good bikes. The program has always been kind of fly by the seat of your pants. How big of a confidence boost is it to come in here and know, like, on Saturday, the bike's going to be there. I know what the bike is. 6 weeks from now, you know what the deal's going to be. 8 months from now, you know what the deal's going to be. It's not a worry of, like, is the ceiling going to fall on your head?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough for a couple years, you know, going from where I was at when I was riding the Yamahas to, you know, I felt like things just kept changing. You know, there was a plan, and there for a couple years it didn't really go through, you know, but you take the good from the bad, you learn, and you know, you just, I feel motivated right now, I think is the biggest thing. I haven't had the opportunity to have somebody with me every day to get the testing done in a couple years, so I really feel like over the last month and a half I've really taken advantage of that. You know, Jim being there to change suspension settings and try stuff with the motor. So, you know, it's nice to be back in a spot where I have a great group of people behind me that want to work just as hard as I do. And you know, I think, like you said, it's been kind of an eye-opener for a couple years, but I'm definitely motivated and I feel good on the bike right now, and you know, I'm pretty pumped on how everything's going at the moment.
Cool.